You know, some people age like a fine wine, and some people age like a can of special brew left on a hot windowsill. Whichever one you are, get ready to talk about those pesky little emotions of yours, because it's time for another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings. Please welcome your host, Sam Lake. It was me the whole time.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings, and I'm very excited for my guest because my guest today is Josie Long.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having
so
me.
glad that you're happy to be here. You're one of my favourites.
Oh, please.
No,
You're
you
very
are. And I've written down something that I need to confess to you.
Okay.
So the first time I came to the Edinburgh Fringe was in 2015.
Okay.
I think you were doing a work in progress over somewhere. I can't remember. You were somewhere doing a work in progress. Me and my friends came to see it, and you mentioned something near and dear to my heart, which is Trago Mills.
Oh, yeah, Trago Mills.
Trago fucking Mills.
Because they had a big UKIP advert on the side for years. And it was so disappointing because Trago Mills is so brilliant.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh.
It's a lovely place. If people listening don't know Trago Mills, lovely. It's like, it's a shop, it's a garden centre. It's
like
a lot of
Pound
things.
Stretcher used to be, but bigger and better.
Bigger and better. It's like a big pound stretcher. And so you said that on stage, and then I made a noise, which, I don't know, is probably the most Cornish noise I've ever made. Just like, oh, like that. and then you said, like, oh, who made that noise? And then I was too embarrassed to confess that it was me.
Oh, were you worried that I'd be like, you fucking cunt?
Yeah, because you are incredibly violent
So
on
I'm like,
stage.
everyone crosses me. Yeah, I think people do. My problem is if somebody does something like that, I can't just be like, that was part of the rich fabric of the show. I have to be like, who did that? Let's have a chat. Oh, I'm not very good at this. I've wasted 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So you're probably better to
Oh, well, okay, then you're welcome.
do just a nice noise and just go back.
Well, there you go.
That was the first time you went to the Fringe. Thanks for coming to see
I think
me.
so. Of course, yes.
That's very nice.
Because I think I'd seen before that. I think I'd seen some of your shows online.
Oh, my God, yeah.
On YouTube, Romance and Adventure.
I put a show on YouTube in
Yes, you
2012.
did.
Before it was a thing to do, and therefore meaning nobody watched it.
I think in some way Netflix owes you
that's
a
that
lot of
massive-
money.
yeah,
a
of
lot
course.
of money. A lot of money. How are you in general? Are you doing all right?
I think I am doing fine. I am fine.
And that's a perfectly okay thing to be.
It's a funny thing to answer in a podcast context, isn't it? I feel like I should be like, I'll tell you how I am.
Yeah.
I was... and then like an anecdote that'd be good and people would be interested by.
You don't have to say any anecdotes. We're generally just checking that you're okay.
It was my daughter's birthday party yesterday, and normally we hire a bouncy castle, buy a bunch of pizzas.
Classic.
I do some stuff that I think is very good, like fruit kebabs and like little tiny individual portions of popcorn in little boxes. And normally we do that. And this year we were like, Johnny's on tour. I'm exhausted. Let's just book the soft play. It'll all be done.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was the difference between the public and the private sector. It was just, didn't have the same amount of love. And I was like,
no.
go back to the closed garden.
You're going to go back. You haven't been converted.
No, I've not been converted.
I do have a theory that anything that was designed for children's, like a soft play or a bouncy castle, or fun little treaty things or party bags, are actually great things for an adult's birthday party now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to go to a party and receive a party bag?
I would absolutely love it.
And it would have like poppers in it. And I don't know, wouldn't it?
You mean party poppers?
No, I mean poppers. Like when you sniff, I just thought like, see, it's for adults. It would have like poppers, and it would have like a little tiny version of the Communist Manifesto.
It's a very specific
stickers.
party.
Some stickers.
Some little stickers.
Everyone loves stickers.
Everyone
And a
does love
pencil.
stickers. Yeah.
Do you know what I put in party bags one year?
What?
You can get these pencils that have 4 colours, so each stroke is a rainbow.
Wait, so it's like the lead is like in it is like different colours.
Yeah, it's like a stick of rock. It's like a design from a stick of rock put all the way through the pencil.
That is revolutionary.
But you're so right. I used to be in a Facebook group, which it never took off, called Adventure Playgrounds for Adults.
Ooh.
So good. Because I feel like Go Ape is that, but Go Ape is this like manufactured, commodified thing where it's like, you've got 20 minutes to follow someone else.
Yes.
You know?
And also at a Go Ape, you're very much thinking about your own safety, clipping yourself into harness, which I really feel like someone should be doing for you.
Oh, you'd rather you were more so it's not supervised enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, just leave me to it. If I die, I die.
No, I could never be so confident that high up. I'm a clumsy little bitch.
Yes, to be fair, I'm not a heights person.
No.
Are you clumsy?
I can be. Yeah. But I always say I'm a very good dancer. I'm just very clumsy. If I'm choreographed.
But also, I think dancing comes from the heart, doesn't it? It comes from the heart and soul.
It does when I do it. Very fun. Okay. Let's address the situation with your drink. And I cannot apologise enough. So you chose Ovaltine, and we'll come on to why you chose Ovaltine later. I feel so embarrassed. I feel ashamed. Mm-hmm. I think if this is what I got cancelled for, I think I'd rightly step away from the public eye. I Googled it, and it said Horlicks and Ovaltine are the same thing. Not basically the same thing, the same thing. And I thought
Did you read the suggestion at the top? Because that this week has been conclusively shown to be fraudulent.
I did see someone on Twitter say something that was like, she Googled, can you smoke whilst you're breastfeeding? And this Google AI thing said, it's recommended you have at least 2 to 3 cigarettes a day whilst you're breastfeeding. Yes! It wasn't like that. It was like a segment from something that said, the two are used interchangeably and they are the same product. And I was like, oh, they must be the same brand or something.
It's disgusting. And this is a real erosion of culture, you know?
Yeah.
It's sad.
I'm so sorry.
Bleak, meagre culture of the United Kingdom in the 1980s
80s
has been left by the wayside. I feel like people, now I've never done this, but like people who would buy like a tin of Spam or like, oh, my mum really loves Shipham's fish paste. You know that tiny little paste?
I do. Like, never liked it.
Oh, horrid.
No.
Or like peas pudding. I feel like peas pudding is more like a regional thing. There are people who love peas pudding.
Yeah.
But like, there are these things that if you were to go into like a convenience store would still be on the shelves. And this is my version of that. I'd be like, well, of course, that's still a good product.
Yeah.
It's very relevant. There's nothing old, there's nothing weird about a drink that you last had 45. I'm actually only 42. 38 years ago.
Oh my God, you're 42.
I am actually.
Because you say it all the week.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Yeah, I don't know why. Do you do that? I feel like a lot of comedians are compelled to be on stage and be like, hello, my name is this. I'm this years old. And I don't know why. Like to introduce yourself, basically?
I think because people are used to a lot of like people on TV shows and things going like, hi, I'm Kevin, I'm 33 and I'm a baker from Durham.
Ah, so it's like you're introducing yourself as if you're a contestant in the game of show.
Yes, in the game of life.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm playing to win.
It'd be a fun opener to be like, hello, my name's Josie Long, I'm 42 years old, and I'm a comedian from Glasgow, and I'm here to get some laughs from you.
Yes, it would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be cute.
And then at the end, if the gig hasn't gone well, then you get to do that thing when people on game shows don't win. They go like, well, I've had a lovely day. It's a shame I didn't win Speedboat, but you know what? Tea and coffee making facilities were absolutely top notch. I've had a lovely day, Simon. Thank you.
My mum was on a quiz show.
Which one?
She was on Sale of the Century.
That was a good one.
It was. And she maintains to this day that her buzzer didn't work. And I have rewatched it of late, like 10 years ago, I rewatched it. And it's really true.
I think there's some merit to it.
It's so bleak. She's with a guy who's a bit slick, who I think ended up winning, and a woman who I think was quite useless. So that's no offence to her. And my mum, every single question, and it didn't go. And then the other guy would be like, brutal. But she won a steamer and an atlas, and she was raging because the steamer is not like
a clothes steamer.
Just like a pot with another pot with
vegetable.
holes. Yeah, and I still have it. I used it yesterday.
Oh,
yeah, stainless steel.
Well, at least it's had good action.
It's had great action over the years.
I was on an episode of Countdown.
Were you?
Yeah. No, I lost by 3 points to a woman called Eileen, who came back. She had a vendetta because she was on the very first series of Countdown and lost her episode by 1 point. So you'd be devastated. So let her come back 25 years later, and she won 8 games in a row.
She held that grudge for 25 years. Did she go off and get better and better and better? Like, did she do training that whole 25 years?
I assume so. The funniest thing was, we'll get on to the questions about the stuff later.
Yeah, I'd rather.
She
talk about this.
Oh, okay, fine. She, the person in Dictionary Corner when I did it was Giles Branwith.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Cozy Tory, but is any Tory that cozy? But it was very nice to me when I met him, but still, if you look at his record.
I saw that expression. You're going to love this then. So keep in mind, Eileen has been like fighting to come back on Countdown. So she's got a score settled with the show. Yeah. Then it's Giles in the Dictionary Corner, and he comes over and introduces himself to every new contestant, because they film like 5 episodes in a day.
Of course.
So he's in Dictionary Corner, he comes over to me, and he knows that Eileen has won like her last 6 episodes. He's be like, "Are you going to be the giant killer?" That's what he says. He goes, "Are you going to be the giant killer?" I'd be like, I'll do my best, Mr. Brownwith, because I was only 21, so I was still very polite. And then, before he could say anything to Eileen goes like, we've actually met before, Giles.
Oh, savage. Absolutely savage.
And apparently, the feud that she had with him was that he judged. And Eileen, if you're watching, which you probably aren't, you might not still be with us anymore, she participated in a Women's Institute, like, marmalade making competition, and Giles ranked her second. Which she did not take kindly to.
Disgusting.
And so she went to all the trouble of going on Countdown just to say to his face, got a bone to pick with you?
Oh my God, this woman is nothing but grudging.
Yeah, at the time I was devastated that I lost, and then I thought about it and I was like, do you know what? I'm glad that I wasn't in her way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no greater power than that kind of grudge that she's been feeding for that long.
I do think it is a good, a fuel in life.
I once was doing a literary gig where I was on some panel of judges. I hadn't written anything at that point, so I really don't think I deserved to be. And there was a guy called Leo on and we had to like judge their books, which again seemed very, and his book was great.
Yeah.
But I remembered that he'd given me a 3-star review in The Guardian and I was really like, blah, blah, blah. And then halfway through I was like, Leo, do you remember what you gave me? It felt so good.
No, I have dreams about people who've done that in reviews. And I think, will I be the bigger person? And I don't think I will be.
But is it not the bigger person sometimes to live in your reality?
Yeah, to, have that little bit of respect for yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can turn the other cheek by enacting revenge. That's what Jesus said.
But then sometimes when you turn the other cheek, it's just a different, bigger, massive cheek. Yeah. That's even bigger than the first one.
Sometimes when you turn the other cheek, it's your butt cheek.
And that person's just getting whole. So, my apologies for the wrong malty beverage.
Can I just explain
You
this?
can, please.
So, Horlicks and Ovaltine, they are two drinks that if you're a little child in the 1980s, as I was, how are you so young? Thank you. This is what, like, your dad would make you before bed. You could have a really sugary drink. And not that long ago, I think I was exhausted and I had I think it was just before the winter ended in Glasgow, just a bit of fun. And I went to the shop and I bought myself Horlicks and Ovaltine because I was like, I'm just yearning for something that's passed. I'm just sort of wanting to feel like a child. Yeah. Feel safe and comforted. And I'm going to burp. It's not relevant. I'm burping again.
Bringing stuff up.
You got to own it.
You got to own it.
So I bought them both, and I can't really have gluten. Like, it's so annoying. It's so boring. And I do sort of like, if I'm in France, surely it doesn't count. I just feel, but like I'm not. So I bought these, and then I looked on the back, and Horlicks' main ingredient is wheat flour. And there's something so bleak about that because, like, it just feels so wartime, doesn't it? Like, I'll just give you some flour and water and put a tiny bit of malt in it, and that'll have to do, you know?
So that's all this is?
It's just, look, I'll show you.
I'll try it.
Ovaltine, I think, isn't gluten-free either, but I think it's more gluten-y, less gluten-y. Okay, malted drink, ingredients, wheat, 41%. Malted barley, also gluten, 31%. Okay. Dried whey, brackets milk. Calcium carbonate, love calcium carbonate in a drink. Dry skim milk, sugar, palm oil, salt, anti-caking agent, because otherwise it'd turn into a cake. So the thing about this drink is the smell of it and the taste of it.
Oh, we've descended into chaos already.
So this one does still remind me of being a kid, and I did used to love it before bed. Just like a lovely little chubby little baby having a chubby little sugary drink before a body goes to rest. But Ovaltine to me it's a bit more chocolatey. It's a bit more like a malty cocoa.
It tastes like how a Malteser melts. Does that make sense?
Isn't that comforting though?
It is. It did smell vaguely, when I was heating up the milk for it, it did smell vaguely of cheese.
I wonder if you could get a savoury Horlicks. Like put a dip of Marmite in it.
You mean soup?
Imagine it was a drink, but it was savoury.
Oh, Bovril.
Yeah, to be fair.
Bovril.
Johnny, my partner, got really into Bovril for a time. Making himself a hot Bovril. He would say a hot Bov.
A hot Bov. Hobby B.
Hobby B.
Do you know what? I don't mind it.
You don't hate it?
I feel like it feels kind of like medicinal in a way.
Yeah, I mean, mean, it's like Lucozade. So
Yes.
I feel like, for whatever reason, I've been thinking about the 80s, and there was a whole tranche of things that were considered medicinal that are not. The Horlicks,
Yes.
the Lucozade.
Yeah. My dad would swear by it,
Yeah.
like a bottle of Lucozade a day, just to
If you're
stave
ill?
off cold and flu. Yeah,
Oh, he would use it preventative.
preventive as a prophylactic. Am I using that word correctly?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
However, the word has been taken and put so much into use for condoms that when you do use it, you run the risk of that.
Oh, sorry.
unconscious
My dad
association.
never used condoms.
Just a bareback day drinking the Lucozade. I went for your mug then.
You really did. For bareback day.
Just a bareback day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a lovely advertising slogan for them?
Bareback day.
No, it'd be
Oh.
just another bareback day. Hang on, wait. Just wait, I'll do it proper.
Go on.
Just another bareback day drinking a Lucozade. I was trying to do it in like my most like radio-y voice. Do you want me to do it in a Radio 4 voice?
Please.
It's my life, hang on.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want another bareback day. Well, I'll try and do it proper.
We've said bareback too much and now we've attracted some leather daddies. And they're on their
They're going
hogs.
to crash through. Do you know what they're going to have? Flask full of Ovaltine.
You'll be like, please, can I join you?
Whoa, if there was an Ovaltine bike again and the two rules were no condoms. No condoms.
No
Ride fast.
condoms, no wheat.
And then they fight the Horlicks guys. And the Horlicks guys are like, safe sex.
Well, I think we've established if you're drinking Horlicks, big old fucking virgin, not those nice leather daddies barebacking it to Ovaltine.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of other things at that time that were in that range of things that my parents... I guess I'm parenting, so I was thinking about being when I was a kid, you know.
That's, yeah. I think people, when they choose their drinks, some people just choose a drink that they are just fond of. And then you talk to them about it, and then they go like, oh, actually, like I have like so many connections to this particular drink throughout my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a bit like a lot of tastes and smell things brings back a lot of memories for people.
Well, I was thinking about malt. The first time I had a malted milkshake was when I was about 10. I had a friend called Julie, and she and me, and her dad took me and her up to Hampstead to
Yeah.
Ed's Diner. Ed's Easy Diner, when there was like, I think there were two branches of it, one in Soho and one in Hampstead. For some reason, he took us up there. And I hadn't really been to London much, but I was in love with London because we were like in the suburbs. So I'd go up, but I hadn't really been streaming last night. And my big daughter ran in because she'd had her first tooth come out. And she ran in and she was celebrating in this. You know that video ages ago where there was a man who was like an Asia correspondent. And
his kid
wife came
comes
and his
in,
kid
and then
came in.
yeah.
And the kid walked in like this. And I remember thinking at the time, like, that's adorable.
Yeah.
And then my daughter literally did the same thing. She's not seen it. She came in like wearing a gold sequined hat and
Amazing.
celebrating that she'd lost her teeth. She's like, Mummy, look! She's like, blood pouring from her mouth.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I love
so-
a bit of ceremony to an occasion like that.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
Also, I said it to you last time I saw you, I love that you refer to her as the big daughter.
The big one,
Not the eldest. Big daughter.
Yeah, the big one. I guess I don't say the eldest. I say the big one.
Yeah, big
and the big one
daughter.
and the baby, even though the baby's 2.5.
But that's like a fun sort of kids TV show where they're like detectives. Big daughter and baby.
The big daughter and baby, that would be a great TV show for kids.
Write it down.
I will.
Write it down.
I've got an idea that I'm trying to pitch, right? But I'm not going to tell you it.
All right. I'm not going to steal it. but also,
It's
we
about
don't-
Lucozade. No.
Let's you say you've got a mug of tea.
Oh yeah, I was saying we went to Ed's Easy Diner
Oh god, yeah.
and it blew my fucking mind. You have these milkshakes and I said, do you want it malted? And I was thinking, I don't know what this
Yeah.
is. I'm from Orpington. You know? I'm a country mouse in the big city. Fuck me, it was the most delicious thing I'd ever had.
You said country mouths.
Country mouse? Did it sound like country
Oh, I thought you
mouse?
said country mouths, and I was like, sure, because your mouth comes from the country and
The way you say things is
yeah,
of the country.
country mouth.
Yeah, it was a real country mouth.
Got a real country mouth on her. Well, I don't like how I said it, actually. I won't say it again. Country. No. Doesn't suit me. It doesn't suit me. Let's talk about your topic of choice.
Okay.
We've got you a tea instead. Can't apologise.
Which I'm dicing with death here because I've technically given up caffeine, but I like to flirt with the occasional caffeinated tea.
People who give up coffee often say, "Oh, I'll have a tea. I'll have a tea."
And you're buzzing. I'll tell you that for free. It's worth it.
Well, you got another pod after this.
I'm podding all day long.
Podding all day. Can't stop podding.
I'm podding along.
Podding along. That's a nice wholesome one after the whole barebacking situation.
Excuse me. Yes, I'm back in the game.
Let's talk about something that you're passionate about.
Yes.
Chess. Lovely bit of chess.
I love chess.
You do love chess. Now, I know that you started streaming yourself playing chess online, which I think is very fun. But chess is not something that you've taken up recently. You've played chess for a while?
Yeah, I was taught chess by my dad when I was a little kid.
How lovely.
Yeah, and we used to play drafts and then chess. And he would play us when we were kind of 10, 11. And I really loved it. And then I used to go on a summer camp for gifted children. Please don't be rude about it.
I was gifted and talented.
Were you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I realise now it was? Undiagnosed neurodivergent across the board. But I loved it. It was such a beautiful thing for me. And the people I met there, touch with and love to this day, like remarkable, interesting, unusual people I never would have met otherwise. And it was great. I loved it. And one of the leaders there, leaders makes it sound like a cult. One of the teachers there would play chess with us in the evening and help us improve. And I always suffered from like ADHD, lack of focus, and found it harder to kind of strategize. But I loved playing.
Yeah.
I sort of played on and off. And then about just before I got pregnant with my baby, who was 2.5, so 3 and a bit years ago.
Okay.
Or maybe about 3.5 years ago, I thought I used to be on chess.com, but very casually. I thought I'm going to get back on it.
That's where you can play just chess online.
Yeah, and so I really love it because you can play anyone around the world at random. And what happens most of the time is I play 13-year-olds who beat me. And it is humiliating, but it's good to be humbled. You know?
It's like Omegle, but chess.
What's Omegle?
It's that thing where you would randomly get match up with somebody, like on a webcam.
Yes, but nobody can ever be masturbating.
Okay, how do they check?
Oh, I guess they could. But what I mean is it's quite safe.
Sure.
I've had people like be rude to me. Like I had a guy who was beating me and he was just really like, "You're fucking shit, you suck."
I think a lot of men do that in any kind of online activity.
Arena, yes.
Well, because you get it. I recently got into playing a game called Tekken.
Tekken,
game.
the fighting game.
Yeah, love it. I almost qualified for the World Cup, but I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't know when the tournament was happening, so I just missed it. I qualified for the pre-qualifier.
That's genuinely very cool.
I was very pleased with myself.
You should go and do it.
I wouldn't have done the one that I would have ended up qualifying for because I think it was in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
And I just didn't want to go. But I did want to be able to say, like, I could have gone if I wanted to.
Would you try it? You should try again.
I'll try again next time.
It'd be such a cool experience to have.
Yeah.
And you'd meet people, you'd be like, oh, wow. The only thing we have in common is Tekken.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that it's good that that's the only thing. Because there's like a freedom. I actually wrote about this a little bit when I was at uni in computer science. We had to talk about social networks.
Did you do computer science?
I did. And we had to learn about social networking and how people say things online that they wouldn't say in real life. And it's called the online disinhibition effect. So if you think there's no way the person that I'm talking to or typing to could ever like see me in real life, I'll say whatever. It's the equivalent of flashing someone in a town that you don't live in. You'd be like, I'm never going to come back here. Moon them.
And do you know what? A lot of people did that in the 70s. And do you know what's getting them? 23andMe. A lot of those people thought they had carte blanche. And now the chickens are coming home to roost.
And they're roosting.
They're roosting. They are roosting.
Yeah. So sorry. I think men can be rude if you give them the opportunity to.
But on the whole, it's fun and it's good-natured. And I started playing, then I got pregnant. And what's really funny was I was doing all right. And then I can gauge. It's been so interesting. Like I could gauge how my hormones were affecting my brain, how tired I was.
Really?
Because it would literally be like, I'd be doing well. I'd be doing better. I got pregnant. I had the baby. I was breastfeeding, she was up all night. You know, and it's amazing
That's
things like that.
fascinating.
I could really see how well I was able to focus. And then I've been on good ADHD medication, sort of on my perfect cocktail of uppers and downers, like Marilyn Monroe, for a few months. And I've definitely got better. And the best thing has been Nick Doody, who's a comedian that I've been friends with for a really long time and loved his comedy for like 25 years. Fantastic comedian. He is also a really good chess player.
Yeah.
To the extent that, and this is embarrassing to say this because anyone who can play chess will know that this is low, but my ranking is like 900 to 950.
Is this the ELO?
That's Mr. Blue Sky.
I thought that's what the system was called in chess, where you got like a little score and it goes up and down.
Sorry, it probably
But
is.
it's the thing that goes, if you win, then you get some points. And if you beat someone who's like really, really, like way more advanced than you, then you get loads of points and they lose loads.
Yeah, however, the online rankings aren't the same as real world rankings.
Sure, okay.
Because you could just play chess all day, every day, and your ranking would change. But like in the real world, you'd play official games against people and you would get that official ranking.
Yes.
So my ranking is like 900. His ranking is like 3 times that. Like a lot more than. Why am I burping so much? I hate myself for this. I don't want a video of me just burping and going.
That's my biggest fear on stage a lot for the last couple of years is just like, well, especially if you're doing an hour show and you're just like, how do I go that long without doing a burp?
I often burp on stage and I just have to talk about the fact that I'm a clown and I'll never be dignified.
Yeah.
My biggest fear in the physical realm would be obviously the big two, pissing or shitting yourself.
I've not done that on stage. No.
Off stage?
Off stage, I can't stop. But I piss myself, I shit myself, and at no point am I wearing a condom.
Great. That's
yeah.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
So he's been tutoring with me and he's so good. And it's just so exciting, but really sad because before this, I was like, I'm all right at chess. And now I'm like, I just didn't realise how shit I was.
But it's that thing where it's like, so when you're presented with like a situation like that where you're like, oh, maybe I only enjoyed this thing because I thought I was good at it. And then I got against someone who was way better. Do you still enjoy that thing?
Yes, because he's a very kind teacher and he talks me through puzzles and we're always learning different things and I'm seeing things in different ways. But it's amazing the sort of things that he'll be like, and so then what you do is you just analytically scan your pieces a bit. And I'm like, no, man, I just vibe it. I vibe it.
Just vibe.
I vibe. I try and psych the person out.
If I want to move the queen there, she's going to do it.
She's going to move for
She's going to move for that. I'm just going to serve cunt doing it. So when Claire told me that the topic was going to be chess, she was like, do you know anything about chess? And I said, I think I know what most of the pieces are called.
Okay.
Queen.
Yes.
King.
Yes, queen.
Pawn.
King. Pawn, yeah.
Rook.
Yeah?
Knight?
Yeah.
You've
only got one more to get and you've got the full set.
Have I?
Yeah.
Bishop.
Yes! I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Do you know the one that's the most fun in terms of how they move?
No.
Okay, so the knight is really fun because the knight moves in an L shape. Everything else, you just step forwards or you step diagonally or you step in one rank.
Yeah.
And the knight's like, I'm a tricky little bitch. I do what I want. I'm taking 2 steps forward and 1 step to the side. Enjoy.
Like Paul or Abdul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Opposites attract.
They sure do.
In the game of chess.
Yeah.
I think I also really love chess because it feels like this gigantic language to learn that you'll never learn all of.
Yes.
And it feels
I get
like
that.
a sport that hopefully, if you can try and stay mentally intact, which honestly the jury's out with me thus far, you can improve your whole life.
I was going to ask, do you feel like there's anything that you've learned from playing chess that carries over and just... Because it's all of... Everyone says in chess, it's all like, oh, you got to be like 2 steps ahead of your opponent.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn to visualize better. This is the thing. You have to... Because I'm quite good at going, okay, what am I trying to do? Or like, okay, they're going to do that. I won't do that. They'll do this. But what you really need to be like is like, okay, they do that. I do this. They do that. I do this. They do that. Oh, I can't do it. Like a good chess player will do like 10 moves in advance or something like that.
That's wild.
Maybe not 10, but a lot. Moves in advance.
Sometimes I think just let like Deep Blue and all the computers...
Just let them have chess.
Just let them have it. I think they finished it. I think they finished chess.
And then do you know what happened? They had to start again and all the pawns were bombs.
Bombs?
That's just, if you finish Mario, you start again and instead of mushrooms, they're all like Bowsers or something.
Is that true?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I loved Super Mario.
I'm just now asking myself the question if I ever finished that game. I really thought I had.
And I'm talking about the first one, like the
very first
Nintendo
one.
Entertainment System.
Yeah.
You'd finish it and then all the baddies would be like harder.
That's blown my mind.
Yeah.
Well, you've given me something to Google.
I'm worried that I've chosen chess and I don't have enough meat on the bone.
No, but see, the great thing about talking about this with me is I don't know anything. I'm just happy to be here. I've had a lovely day.
Just had a lovely day.
I've had a lovely day.
You pressed the buzzer, the other guy.
There's never been a game show about chess. Because I know there was one about Sudoku.
Was there?
Yeah, and I think it was hosted by Eamon Holmes. Who just got divorced. Yeah.
He just got divorced.
Just got divorced from Ruth Langsford.
I would never have thought that happened. What was cited?
What as the cause?
Mm-hmm. Not the cause. They couldn't have been involved. Although Eamon Holmes is a conspiracy theorist, isn't he? And one of the causes is a conspiracy theorist.
Is it Jim?
I assume, yeah. I was going to say is the man.
The man, Jim.
Yeah, Jim Core.
The Jim. There was always the three beautiful cars. And then there's Jam, and he's just sort of there. Mm. Yeah. I think he got big into crypto as well.
Can I just say, from the get-go, as soon as NFTs came on the scene, I was like, these are stupid and shit.
Once again, I studied computer science.
Yeah.
The guy who invented blockchain, which is what crypto and NFTs, all of that is based on. It's just a concept of storing information in a way that is secure and hard to like edit.
Sure.
And when he made it, because he made it in the 90s, he was just like, yeah, so in theory, this is like a cool thing. It's a cool way to store information, but I don't really know how anyone's going to use it. If anyone does use it, it will probably be for some sort of silly money-making scheme.
I feel like a lot of computer culture is that. It's people who in the 80s and 90s were like, I'm making this for the good of civilization. This will never be corrupted.
Well, it's Ponzi schemes, a lot of it. So the best period of the internet, so we're currently in Web 3.
I know, it's not good.
Sorry, not the internet, the World Wide Web. Yeah. We're in Web 3, which is all about like decentralized.
I that because I met Tim Berners-Lee.
Fuck right off.
I am in the Science Museum. There's a video where I play a simpleton who knows nothing about computers. It's method. I've method. And Tim Berners-Lee plays Tim Berners-Lee. And I asked him questions about the internet. Yeah. And it was so nice to meet him. And I was so in awe of him. But at the same time, I know so little about his field of expertise that we ended up talking a lot about yoga.
Does he like a bit of yoga?
Yeah. It was like a lingua franca, you know? Like I didn't speak his language. He did speak mine, but like he was too good at it. So we just chose yoga. Yeah,
that's lovely.
Give you back. He was very nice to me. And then what's weird is this video of me circa 2009 is still in the Science Museum. I should go and visit it and be like, well.
I really think you should. I want to go see it now. What, so you know the difference between the internet and the World Wide Web?
I do actually.
Lovely.
Don't ask me though.
I won't. Good. I won't. But we're in Web 3 right now. Yeah. This has nothing to do with chess, but I think it's interesting.
Come on.
We're in Web 3.
Chess.com? No, chess.com would be Web 2.
Chess.com would probably be Web 2. So Web 3, Web 1 was like the original version of Tim Berners-Lee, where it's just, and it's just like, you go to a page and there's a hyperlink and that takes you to a different page. So everything is connected. And that's that. Say,
that was a lovely time. That time happened when I was about 12 years old and you would go to fan sites and it was very beautiful.
So when fan sites were like things that you could then sort of like put your own content up on the internet via the web, that's Web 2.
Oh,
so that's like read, write. That's like yeah, no, that is Web 2 because that was the whole idea of like people. That's where like social media comes in, people having blogs and like Tumblr and like doing their own websites and stuff. And that was the best time because people could put whatever they liked on the internet and it wasn't like, it was sort of like a free for all. But then all of the big companies like Google, Netflix, Amazon, they take up so much of the internet traffic that people are going like, well, they basically just rule the internet because when do you not Google something if you need to know something? So you just go and Google it.
And also people go on Twitter as opposed to surfing the web.
Surfing the web?
Who surfs the web?
I don't surf the web.
I don't surf the web anymore.
Nay, a paddleboard.
And can I tell you, when you don't even bodyboard it.
No, I don't.
When I was a kid, I don't know why I'm like so nostalgic, but when I was a kid in about 1993, when I was in year 7, there was a computer room at school.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we'd go at break time, and the whole of that 15 minutes would be spent like on one thing. It was genuinely incredibly exciting.
Isn't it?
And I feel like this chat is so boring. Like, I feel like I've heard loads of people my age saying this, but it's real.
It's real. Web3 is the decentralized part of the internet. So it's trying to make it so that nobody can just have control over the web.
Okay.
It doesn't belong to any one person. So like Amazon can't just be like, well, you do all of your shopping through us. We control all of this traffic. It's trying to make stuff that's decentralized. So like, even if there's like an organization that like looks after whatever it is, nobody owns it. Because that's the whole idea with like crypto, is that it's sort of like a currency that's owned and managed by everybody. It's not. It's a Ponzi scheme because it's not supposed to be used for that. But that's the whole point of Web3 and decentralized. I can't believe you met Tim Berners-Lee.
I did.
Look at the fun conversation that's just come from a little chat about chess.com.
Chess.com. Yeah, I do like chess a lot. And I think it's, when I was about 11, I tried to set up a chess club at school. I just went round with this box that the school had given me because they had been an erstwhile chess club that had folded. And just went around and been like, does anyone want to play chess? And they had all these books in it about chess, but I didn't read them. And I wasn't in year 7, I must have been in year 10 because it was like trying to get year 7s into the club. It was not successful.
They're too busy in the Leather Daddy Ovaltine bike gang.
They're in another kind of club.
Another kind of club. And that's irresponsible. Very irresponsible. What was I going to ask? So you've played it for a part of your life then, since you were a kid.
Yeah.
So where do you think your enjoyment from chess, if somebody told you you could carry on playing chess for the rest of your life, you'd never get any better at it though, would you keep playing? Or do you think part of the enjoyment is...
I keep doing comedy, don't I?
Stop. Stop. What's she like?
I do keep going climbing though. And I swear to fucking God, I go climbing every week.
You do? Yes, you said yes.
Because my daughter goes to a climbing club, and me and some of the like parents have like mums and dads climbing club. Everyone else in that club is going on leaps and bounds. And it's me. If I miss 1 week, I'm set back about 3 weeks. So I'm basically getting worse no matter what I do. And I remember I've been doing climbing since I was about 12. No, since about 2012. What is wrong with me? And it was the same thing then. I used to climb with my friend Ben Target, incredible comedian.
Yes.
And he got better and better. And I basically stayed the same. And I think that's always been the case with me for physical activity. I'm very enthusiastic. I keep trying. I love it. I'm not willing to give up.
Yeah.
But I'm just not... The only thing I seem to be good at is like hill climbing. And that's not good. I'm just somebody that can do it without getting too tired.
You see a big hill and you're like, I'm having that.
I get up it.
Getting up it.
Right up it.
So do you think the enjoyment comes... Do you just think you get the enjoyment from the trying of it?
Yes, and the enthusiasm and the excitement of it. And the feeling that I'm like really getting my teeth in. So I do think that's the case with chess. However, this is the first time that I've really consistently tried to get better at it.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's been quite challenging because I sometimes am like, oh, so am I all wrong about this? Like, should I just be thinking about this in a more... pardon me, in a more like...
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What's that?
It's just the timer.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No, we've had a lovely chat.
What I'm trying to say is that now I'm trying to get better at it. It seems to be taking some of the magic away because I think before when I was just barreling in, it was really exciting. Whereas now I am trying to get better. It's like, oh, are people just learning openings and working out what to do if someone else does this?
Yes.
Whereas I want it to be like a meeting of minds.
Yeah.
Or like the great
Go on your journey. Yeah, it's like when you discover how the sausage is made, you are less likely to want to stuff a sausage in your mouth. Right?
Yeah.
I think that about comedy sometimes, because when I used to watch comedy, I would go, oh, this is so good. I can't believe they just know exactly the right words and how to say them. And now I do it and I go,
yeah.
Load of shit.
I can't believe they said, where did you learn to whisper in a helicopter? What? You never heard that?
Where did you learn to whisper in a helicopter?
Yeah, that's like, see, this is where sometimes I just do feel like I'm starting to feel old. Where like, that was, in 2003, that was like the way that you would take the piss out of hack comedians and be like, where did you learn to whisper in a helicopter? So it's just like shit that like men in journals would say.
Because if you say it like that, then just from the vibe, I can understand what it means.
Where did you learn to whisper, love, in a helicopter? Oh yeah, and this you'll know. I remember my first pint as well. Have you ever heard that one?
No.
You must have heard like
You
I
sound
don't show
like my
up to where
dad.
you work and slap the cops out of your mouth.
Oh, okay. I have
You've
heard that one. I've heard that one from Kathy
endures.
Griffin. Yeah.
That one endures.
Yes. Yeah. It's a good one as well. I think she got it from Joan Rivers.
Did she?
Yeah. Yeah, like a hand-me-down.
Put down. Yeah,
hand
that's
me down,
like
put down.
Put down's a common
Yes.
law.
Well, because you're in a fight or flight situation, you got to fight.
Yeah,
So you
and
just
it's not material.
yeah.
I had a fun. Do you know I was at the Monkey Barrel and I put someone down and I was so proud of myself because it's not my vibe.
But you did it in a way that was funny and
It wasn't too mean. It was like this guy and he wasn't being mean. He was just so drunk. He was just going blah, blah, blah.
that's always the worst.
And I said, back to your TV triumph.
Yes.
I said, oh look, I hate to make this countdown, but I need at least one vowel. No, I need at least one consonant.
Oh, that's good.
I need at least one consonant.
That's very good.
So pleased with myself. I don't know where it came from. And then it was so exciting to me that I thought I must have just...
We've got one last thing to talk about. I love talking about chess. I'm sorry about the Ovaltine, but I've got one last thing to do for you very quickly before we let you go and do your other pod.
Can I just say, if anyone
Yes.
is thinking about chess, don't let it put you off as something you wouldn't do or wouldn't be able to do. It's a really fun game. You can learn on chess.com or Lee Chess, and there's loads of puzzles, and it is just incredibly fun to learn, and it is great for your mind, and it is cool.
And I think most computers have, like, along with like the solitaire and the spider solitaire, I think there's chess.
Yeah, there is.
I think there's chess.
But then
mine-
you'll grow to
yeah.
hate your computer.
Oh,
You'll be like, fuck this guy.
I already do. Never does what I want. Right, the last thing that we're going to do with you.
Yes.
Quick fire feelings.
Okay,
I'm just
I'm
going to
great.
say some things to you, and then you tell me how you feel about them. Okay? All right. First thing, we asked everyone this. How do you feel about dark chocolate?
Hate it.
Great.
Hate people who go,
Great.
me, I just love dark chocolate. Just a square of dark chocolate's enough for me. Fuck you. You don't understand pleasure.
80% cocoa.
It's not chocolate.
Have some cream, for
Yes,
fuck's
thank
sake. How do you feel when you go bouldering?
Exhilarating.
Those little grip things that are just for your fingers.
Oh, those ones to train. I only ever got to the stage where I was training on them in about 2014 when I was at my all-time best, and I never got very far.
It just seems like,
hard.
does it
Do you
actually make a
go?
difference? I've been, and I remember I used to do aerial circus, so my grip was
you?
all right, but not in my fingers.
What was your
Hoop. I got on my hoop.
You were cock a hoop.
I was cock a hoop. Sometimes I was. This is a gear shift. How do you feel about the House of Lords?
Abolish.
Great.
Abolish.
All right.
Abolish. I feel, do you know what? Genuinely, I feel like the rest of my life is going to be increasingly trying to stave off the bile created by new additions to the House of Lords. Like quite recently, there were several people who were admitted who deliberately sabotaged the Labour Party in 2019. Lord Walney, who was, you might have to bleep this, I don't know if it's legal to say, but he was dodging a sexual harassment investigation in the Labour Party when he left to become a righteous campaigner against it, and was rewarded by Boris Johnson by a seat in the Lords. And he's come out with a report now where he's trying to say that even further restrictions should be taken on protest and protesters. He's such a bad egg, and that guy is in the House of Lords until he or we die. It's disgusting. And I think that the problem is, I just know that's not going to stop. And I just know that, for every few years that passes, there'll be a new person where I'm like, that guy? It's just, I remember the receipt from that guy.
They just, there was a clip I saw of the someone who, I think she's the youngest person to be let into the House of Lords, and her whole platform is abolish the House of Lords.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I thought there was someone else. I think there was a Tory who was let in who was very young, and it was so obviously corrupt. This is it. It's embarrassing and it's sad. And then people go, yeah, but sometimes they're a good check and balance. It's like, yeah, that still doesn't mean that this is good. It means we need to change it.
Hard gear shift the other way. How do you feel about Taylor Swift?
I think I'm really too old. I like listening to Shake It Off with my kids. I used to like the Ryan Adams cover of it, and then obviously some stuff came out about him. We couldn't enjoy it in the same way. I just have two strong opinions about Taylor Swift, and I feel like that's quite rare, I guess. I don't wish her ill.
Okay.
I don't wish her ill.
If she's watching, you don't wish her ill.
I don't wish her ill, and I acknowledge that she's a good songwriter.
But if you see her on chess.com,
oh, she's getting
fucking taking her down.
Oh no, I shouldn't say, because I don't know whether I have played somebody very famous on chess.com, and I'll tell you who it is after.
Oh!
And they beat me.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, last thing. How do you feel about yoga with Adrian?
I love her, but it's very funny. I've loved her a long time. And I feel like now she still has a lot of integrity, but every time, and I'm doing her yoga with Adrian 30 days.
The neck thing.
The neck thing's been amazing for my posture. Honestly, I really feel like for the first time in my life, I've got a base from which to work towards good posture.
Yeah.
However, I always have to say to myself, she's the only multi-billionaire I trust. You know, it's like hard because she used to live in this little apartment and now she's living in this like ranch where you can look out on miles of it. And I don't resent her for it. I'm happy for her, but it's still, there's something about it. Like she came to London to do shows at Ali Pali. Not even shows, yoga classes.
I was going to say, yeah.
And it was something, I think it was like £60, maybe it was £20. But whatever it was, I was like, that's steep. And it was thousands of people practicing
Did she
yoga
say
with
something
her.
like investing in fossil fuels is just, it's going to feel really yummy.
So yummy.
So yummy, really deep and yummy.
I do like her and I'm happy for her, but it's sort of a weird one for me. What's your feelings on it?
I like her of all of the yoga tubers.
Can I tell you about a yoga tuber couple that I really like?
I think you can. Do we have time?
Do we have time?
Couple minutes.
That's not really. I'll tell you later, but
All
they're
right.
good. Because there's kind of a lot of suspicious, like I don't
Oh, is it like a conspiracy theory about like what's happening?
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk. We'll talk. Oh, we'll talk.
will talk.
I will talk. Josie, thank you so much for coming on and doing a little podcast. I hope you had a nice time.
It was such a pleasure. I really hope the chess chat wasn't too dull, but it's lovely for me to talk about my friend and me playing chess.
I think everyone had a lovely time to all who are involved. Is there anything that you'd like to plug?
Yes, so we stream at Chess with Comedians Twitch.
Yes.
And we do it quite periodically. It's not that regular, but about once a week, and it's really fun. Also, I have a book called Because I Don't Know What You Mean and What You Don't, and it's out in paperback. And please buy several thousand copies in one single week, just so I can see what's gone on the chart. Like I'm saying, if you're rich, buy 40,000 copies, and then you can sell them like NFTs.
Is that how NFTs?
No, not
anyway,
at all.
Anyway, yes, we'll link to all of that in the little
Thank you.
description.
I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. You can follow the show on at I've Had a Rosé. You can follow me at Mrs. Sandlake, and we'll see you again very soon for another episode. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.